Morning, guys. I am here. Let's see who shows up first. Ooh, hey, Mike. Usually it's Jeremy. Jeremy's usually like Johnny on it, like the first person here. There he is. See? Jeremy, Mike beat you this morning. Well, I didn't do a live feed yesterday. I did do a video. Nothing much, Cody. How's life as an E6? Did you get yelled at? Did you get yelled at for some shit as an E6 that you wouldn't have gotten yelled at for when you were an E5 yet? Because it only took like a fucking weekend for me. Then again, I didn't get frocked. I got... What's up, Dave? So, guys, that's Dave Warren from Tuya Knives, U.S. distributor. How you been, Dave? I meant to send you a message yesterday. I'm making my cup of coffee. I'm limiting myself to 1 cup of coffee. Wow, notifications must have went out this morning. I am cold, though. Can you guys... Let me see. I need to grab my sweatshirt. What's up, Jason? So, oh, chilly. Yeah, I imagine a lot of you guys saw my King of Random video. I'm doing well. Just need my sweatshirt because it's supposed to get warm today. So I've got the fans on, blowing air through the house and the window open in the living room. But it's only 63 degrees outside right now. But I want to get the cool air all the way through into the kitchen because it's going to be warmer today, from what I understand. You guys wonder why I wear a hat all the time? Wonder no longer. That's why I wear a hat. Because I don't have to comb my hair. So first weekend, Cody, the first weekend I made E6. Well, it's because it's curly and it's short. See, it's curly. You saw it when I had it long. It's curly. I had to fight with it. But so anyway, that makes me want to have to pee. I don't have to pee. Anyway, so the first weekend I made E6. And like I said, I didn't get promoted. I got frocked because I was first increment. I didn't get frocked. I got promoted. That's how it works in Navy. So there's like a 6-month period where you're not getting paid for the job, but you're wearing the rank. I don't know if they do that in Air Force or any other. But anyway, it's called frocking. So you wear the rank. But if you get in trouble at that time, you are... so say you're an E6. If you get in trouble as a frocked E6 and you get busted, you go all the way down to E4 because you're not actually an E6, you're not getting paid for it yet. But at any rate, I got paid that day, so I was an E6. That weekend, a couple of my guys got in trouble. I was out of town. I was already married. I got married before the results of the test came out. So anyway, a couple of my guys got in trouble, and I got yelled at for some shit I wasn't even in town. Like the weekend before I got fucking promoted, they would have never said a word to me. They'd be like, hey, I don't know if you know this, Navarro and Wells got in trouble. Okay, that's all I would have needed to know. The following weekend after I got frocked, holy shit, I was in trouble for shit I didn't even know about. Rank has its privileges, but also has its drawbacks. So I don't know if you guys saw, Mark Begg and Mattia Barani. I like Mattia and I like Mark. I've met him a couple times, but I was talking to him about that knife that I sharpened. I was like, dude, I love these knives. I said, those custom ones that you guys do. So, I have I have this, which is not a custom. This is a production model, but they have custom ones they make that are way more expensive, way, I wouldn't say nicer, but they are definitely more options. I really just love this clip point Western chef knife. But yeah, that was basically the gist of it, Cody. But I did a Santoku. Well, I've got it here. I'll show it to you. But, I mean, I don't really... Hang on a second. So, I told him, I was like, man, I love these knives. Every time one of them comes in, and I've had a few of them come in, but this, every bit as nice. And this is what led me to talk about the handles. This knife is really comfortable. So is that one. But anyway, so I told Mattia, I was like, I put a bias on it, I sharpened it for a customer, and he was like, can you do a paper cut test for me? He's like, I want to, he's like, I would love to have you do a paper cut test or something and show how sharp it is and send it to me. He's like, you send it to me, I'll post it. And I was like, sure. I never expected that they would post it up on the Beg page. So Mark posted it up on the main page for Beg Knives. And I was like, seriously? It got like 5,000 views overnight. I got 4 emails this morning for sharpening stuff that I have to respond. I got them this morning after I was like, as I was setting this up, I got like 4 rapid fire emails, and I got some overnight that I haven't finished responding to, but I wanted to talk to you guys. You guys, I haven't done just a no bullshit, just fucking serious live feed in a while. I did the one the other day, but it was short. This one's not gonna be a short one. It's gonna be at least 30, 45 minutes. Well, I guess I did one on Monday. Big time big bump. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, and then I asked him, I was like, they're gonna be in Vegas. And I almost wish I hadn't said something because my birthday is the 30th, which is in the middle of the show, which is also in the middle of my daughter's competition here in California. I'm gonna be in Vegas. First competition I'm ever gonna miss. I had a chick tell me my car was sexy one time. I had a Toyota Supra that I hid. You can't close my books. I got a house to pay for. Gunner's mate. So, no, I was, what was I talking about? No, oh, yeah, lost it there for a second. I just woke up, literally just got up. Dave, that would be great. That'd be great. Send them to me as soon as you want. It's a sexy kitchen knife. There you go, Mike. There you go. I honestly prefer this one. I prefer the aesthetics of this to the Santoku, but I mean, thickness is the same, the edge geometry is the same. This thing cuts like a fucking chainsaw. That does as well. I mean, if you find something that works, stick with it. Mine actually, this needs sharpened. I cut a bunch of, I did rosemary and garlic lamb, and I cut a bunch, and I think that one cutting board I've got is just too hard for this VG10, the bamboo one. No, it is VG10 67, it's stainless steel 67 layer Damascus. It's just Damascus. It's Damascus. It is a Sanmai, I guess, because it's Damascus back here, and then it's the leading edge is just, they can't call it Sanmai, though. I don't know if you know the whole thing with cold steel and Sanmai. But, yeah, it's like a Sanmai, so it's sandwiched. This is all folded, and then this is the sandwiched piece at the very front, your leading edge. But I really, not just because it's attractive. That's not the fact is, this thing cuts like a champ. I would be fine with this. It was just solid piece of steel without the embellishments. But I definitely do like the embellishments. Nice, long, broad blade. It is. It just sits. And then if you need to do any forceful cutting, and I think that's what that lamb was not completely thawed, so there was a little more resistance. So when I cut through, when I finally got through, I was hitting, and plus the vegetables too. The vegetables I cut up. I mean, I've had much more expensive knives come in, kitchen knives, and this is still way up there on the list of, there have been a couple that were nicer, but not by much. But you got to figure the difference between the price on that and the price for like the full custom model, because this is a full custom. This is a much more expensive knife than that one is. It's not any better. It really isn't. I mean, it has some things about it that are nice. I like the nice flat blade. I like the full satin, hand satin, and the handle is heavy, but not awkwardly heavy, so it sits balanced nice, because you got a shorter handle on this one, and it just balances it. That's just sitting on my finger. In case you guys don't know, my sister and I both cook a lot. So anyway, no, when I was making the rosemary lamb tenderloin the other day, it wasn't completely thawed when I was cutting it, so I get the little mandolin or the medallions out of it. And so it was hitting that cutting board a little harder, that bamboo cutting board I've got, and it's not the greatest on that edge of that knife. So I think I'm gonna stick with the softer plastic ones for anything that I'm cutting. My buddy Rich and I deep fried a turkey the one year, and deep fried a bunch of biscuits, drop biscuits. Just dropped them in the grease and fried them. They were great, but a handful of them got done when the oil had cooled down a little bit, and a couple of them got real greasy, and I ate a couple of them, and then we both had upset stomachs. But other than that, it was fucking delicious. We did two turkeys. We did two turkeys that year. Yuka and Tori did one in the kitchen, and Rich and I did one in the yard. And we grilled bacon. I remember grilling bacon on the thing, but that was a night where we had drank 2 bottles of. Yes, I have, and I hate to admit it. I even had to do it on my Riat. It's not a new thing. Their sharpening choils have been bad. It's the only thing, and I think you heard me talk about it in my Horizon D. I actually opened up the choil a good bit. Not a full finger choil, but opened it up enough that I had that spot at the back where it's real thick. I have a Fox knife that's here that's the same way. And it's just, that choil, that sharpening choil is there for a reason. And if you put it farther back than where it's actually needed, it's worthless. Either that or it needs to be a little bit bigger. And some people are like, you just want to put a fucking sharpening choil on everybody's knife. You could sharpen all the way back to that. And I'm like, yeah, I could sharpen all the way back to that. I could sharpen all the way back to that plunge and things like that. But the fact is, I would have to charge you extra. And you know why? Because that stone, that coarse stone I use out there, the first 3 stones I use are $77 each. And if I'm putting chips in them, I'm taking off the life, and I'm going to charge you extra. Sorry, it's just a thing. If I'm damaging my equipment to do what you want, there's a price to that. It's just all there is to it. Those stones aren't cheap. Those diamond matrix stones, they might be 1x6. They look like a little 6-inch machinist rule, but they're $77 each. And if I'm doing it on all those stones, I got to charge you for wear on every one of those stones, because I got to take those chips out. I'm going to do a video about maintaining stones and how important the chips at the corners are, because they will fucking edge up. So I sold 2 of those neck knives yesterday. One of them is going for raffle. There are no more available. I already told the guys up, we're gonna raffle this one. No? And at this point, I think I have found the stones that I'm gonna wind up using until I can't get them anymore. I have the mix that I need where I can sharpen anything, literally anything. I got diamond stones, several different kinds of diamond stones. I have a couple oil stones, Arkansas stones, and some other stuff that I've got. I've got the aluminum oxide stones. I got the diamond matrix stones. I have ceramic stones. If there's I should be able to sharpen feasibly anything. I'm thinking about doing a test and see how, with now that I have a full set of diamond matrix stones, the Maximet, I would like to try one. I have a guy that says he's got a couple, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable saying that it's a definite that I'm gonna do it and set a price for it, because if it still just takes, even with the diamond matrix stones, if it takes forever, I'm still just not gonna do it. Dendrite Colbite. Don't think so. It's not that I mean, I know I can do it. I'm not saying I can't do it. I know that I have all the stones to do it. What I'm saying is the amount of time it takes. That's like I was explaining to somebody, when I refinish a knife, I'm not making money. I am, but at the expense of time that I could be doing other things. Sometimes it takes 6-8 hours, sometimes more than a day, if I have to do an overnight tumble and things like that. Sometimes it takes 2 days to refinish a knife. If I'm putting 8, 10, 12 hours into a knife for $100 to $150, it's not a good return on investment. I do it because I enjoy doing it and things. Those are weekend things that do make money. But to tell you the truth, when I do a refinish on a knife, I'm really not making money, because that $100 that's the start price. Is Cruwear any good? I've sharpened Cruwear, it's okay. That $100 up front for the base price for a refinish, which a lot of times I wind up sticking to, I could make that in an hour at the workbench. If I'm sharpening, I'm making between $75, $50 to $100 an hour. Depends on how difficult the knife is. And if I'm doing a feed, if I do a live feed, or if I'm shooting a video while I'm doing it, it takes much longer. So when you guys see me sharpen on video, it's not a real good representation of how much work I can get done in an hour. It really isn't. Like most knives, I get distracted and I'm talking to you guys and I'm reading comments and I stop and I explain things. But if I'm all by myself, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If I can do three knives in an hour in a live feed, imagine what I'm doing when I'm not distracted. I'm getting I've been able to do 5 at a time. I'm not gonna say that that's an average that I can get 5 in an hour, but I can definitely do 4. And if you figure that I work, there's times where I wind up sharpening all day. Those are good days. I've had days where I made $600 in a day. You know, that's a lot of knives. It's really not. It's only 20. It's 20 divided by 4. That's 5 hours of work. But the special's going on, guys. I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm running a summer special because the wife and kid are gone. I do need to make money. And so enticing people, I decided $25, as long as it's not a recurve or a Tonto or double-edged, $25 will get you all the way to 12,000 grit, as long as there's no reprofiling or chip removal I have to do. Like if I got to do repairs on an edge, there's a little extra. And I'm starting to notice that like almost everybody gets charged an extra because other companies are doing it badly as well. Companies that really weren't screwing stuff up. Where'd that? I got a box. Scandi grinds, and anything that's not a standard blade or grind is Scandis just take forever because you've got so much surface contact, and depending on how hard the steel is. Like I didn't charge True. He's gonna be in here. He's like, God damn it, here I am again. I'm not even in there, and I'm getting called out. True sent me that knife, and it took I couldn't charge him what it was worth. he made me charge him as much as I felt comfortable. He told me that. He's like, I know that had to be where, he's like, I saw, but I also got that thing sharp enough you cut tissue. And that's not a matter of more sharpness. That's a matter of edge profile and things like that. So if you see these guys that are cutting tissue and things like that, as much as like my friend Ben, if he watches, Ben, I'm not at all picking if you happen to watch this, but what I would say is those edges that you're doing that are so fine is, oh, hey, thanks, Cody. Yeah, guys, drop a like. Those edges are so thin that they're just not going to hold. Now that Scandi tops that I did had it's a Scandi, it had enough material to hold. So that edge, I felt comfortable doing it. But like to put an edge like that on, say, something like this, no. That edge has to be so thin to do it that it just won't hold. Gotcha. What? What was that? Caught me what? Oh, hey, Kenny. So, I am doing well. I slept pretty well last night. I got work to do this morning. I had stuff show up. And Charles Anderson. Hey, Swede. Hey, Swede Johansson. I love that movie. So anyway, the stuff showed up from Nowpack. I'm gonna get that stuff. Yeah, that's what I was gonna take. There's a bunch of t-shirts in that, but I don't know where they were storing them. They're just filled with sand. It could be because, yeah, that's what I was saying. I slept great. I slept like 6 hours. That's unusual, above average amount of sleep for me. So stickers are there. They're all in an envelope. Do you want me to wash those t-shirts first? They are like fucking sandy. What I think happened was when I opened them, the box was in the bedroom, and I don't know when it happened, but they ran the blower, the leaf blower, right under my window in the dirt. And I had my fan in the window, and those idiots didn't order any t-shirts. There's t-shirts in there. So it blew all this dust in the fan into my bedroom. I had to vacuum the bedroom floor. I was vacuuming the love seat because the corner of it sits right in front of the fan. So one whole corner of it was just covered in dust. I had to change the sheets. Yeah, the lackeys are out. San Diego Knives has them. I think Blade HQ, Knife Center may. I don't remember who else they distributed those through. But yeah, so I spent the evening doing that. That might have been how they got dirty, but I didn't think. I thought that I put that box in the bedroom after all that happened. So, but hang on a second, I'll show you what came. So there is one brown San Diego Knives t-shirt. There is one Knife Life t-shirt. They are 2XL, 2XL, 2XL. Should have not said anything, just kept the fucking things. And then there's a Knife Life. There's a handful of these. I wonder if Andy sent these so that I can wear them in videos. I haven't talked to him yet. If anybody gets those shirts, it's me. I need more shirts. I was getting ready to go buy a bunch of shirts. But, what else showed up was your Swiss Army knives, the No Veteran Left Behind, Continue Mission. I love this. I love the fact that they do this. This is amazing. He already told me 2 of these are mine. 3 of those are his. There were 5 that came. So if I have 2 of them, there's a good chance one of these is going to be a giveaway. But I wasn't thinking about doing a giveaway. What I actually was thinking about doing was whoever donates the most. So the knife, soft loops, all that shit are in here. Don't start anything stupid this morning, Peter. Is this Peter? Is this punctuation Peter? Same Peter? Because last night you were acting like a Peter. Why would you even say that in a video? The guy passed away. Why the fuck would you even say anything about like his videos got all clickbaity? Who fucking cares? Jesus. So anyway, let me know what you want to do with the shirts. Peter's one of those guys that likes to hijack people's live feeds instead of... Well, let me explain it to you. So Peter sends our boy, my good friend Elliot, an email. And in the first part of it, Elliot's like, who is this guy? I'm gonna do a video. Now that I have a couple here, I'm gonna do a video of one of them. I was gonna tell you that. And I have to sharpen your triple actions. They're in the box as well. I'm not gonna sharpen those little Swiss Army knives. Because one, they're sharp, and two, they don't need an edge like that. Those are kind of nice to just sharpen on a rock. Those are fingernail cleaners, but they are nice. Oh, so what I was gonna say is, I'm gonna keep one of those little Swiss Army knives. Probably give it to my daughter, because it's a nice little size knife. She can use it for stuff. She's getting older, she can use a knife. I was gonna do that, and then, yes, exactly. Just when he logs in and says, you're off leash. Anytime you see Peter, you're off leash. Just make sure that you don't get my channel demonetized. Because it's not that I give a fuck about the money, because I don't ever see any money from YouTube. It's the fact that if I'm demonetized, none of the interactions matter. You have to have a monetized channel, really. One of my daughter. The other one, I was thinking, you guys hear me out. Whoever will get that knife is whoever has donated the most to a veteran's... I mean, I know it's a cheap little knife, but one, it's getting things done for veterans. Two, you get something to show for it. So let me know what you think about that. I was thinking about that. One of the two that Mr. Anderson here has donated to whoever can verify that they've donated the most to a veterans charity. No, because I'm a veteran and my wife gets 100% of my paycheck, including my retirement. Peter, it doesn't fucking matter. That has no bearing on the subject. The subject was that he passed away. And I was just relating the fact that I feel bad because that was one channel that I followed religiously. I watched every thing of it. And then, yeah, but my wife still lives with me. So, and then the fact was that he sent me a message on one of my videos about Heat Treat stating that it was good and told me that a few years ago, he had thought about just giving up on his channel. And he just was like, hey, just don't give up. Keep your channel going. You never know how far it's going to go. That's all I was saying. But you have to go in and do you have Asperger's? Like, seriously, you irritate the fuck out of me sometimes. And I'm serious right now because that was a serious subject and you took it completely off the rails and you're trying to do it again. It was a serious subject and you just don't seem to get the gist of things that people are saying. I feel as though I'm talking to my child right now and I don't want to do that. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to do a video about the lackeys. I mean, I say some inappropriate shit. I say some fucking inappropriate shit, but I wouldn't fucking think about going in. Okay, let's check that because I did say something about the Spider-Man Disney thing where I was like, look, here's the fucking fact of the matter. That Spider-Man tombstone that father's trying to put up is against that company's guidelines. It's an owned property. You don't have much to say. And when it comes down to it, the fact is that kid's never going to get to enjoy that tombstone. That tombstone's not for the kid. So I didn't feel too fucked up about saying things like that. That tombstone is for the parents, not for the child. They're not hurting a child. A child's already dead. But for fuck's sake, man. Jesus Christ. Oh, back to why we call him Punctuation Peter. You guys ready? I'm not shaming him. It's just funny. He sent a message saying that he doesn't believe that punctuation, he believes punctuation is a waste of time. And so since then, I call him Punctuation Peter. Because it's funny. I mean, nuts. But the fact I haven't blocked you should say a lot. Because occasionally, I do get some enjoyment from you. You're not quite the level of a lot of people. A lot of people at steps. He's not quite there yet. Let's eat grandma versus let's eat, comma, grandma. Punctuation saves lives. Guys, if you haven't dropped a like, there's 21 people and 11 likes. I really appreciate trying to get this channel going somewhere. If you get, it might sound more increasingly dickish when I say this, but I put a lot of work into some of the videos. And the likes the likes let me know you guys enjoy what I'm doing. And it helps get the channel saved. Well, yours was way more appropriate than mine would have been. Yeah. Let me check and make sure I'm on the correct Wi-Fi network. Don't go anywhere. Is it? All right, let me go in the living room then. I'll just take you guys in the living room. I'll finish my coffee. Lagging like mad. All right. We'll switch networks and go onto the faster network in the kitchen. I just like doing it in the living room. But I like doing it in the kitchen because I have someplace to put the camera. Oh, lost a couple people. Let me switch networks. Is that better? Yeah, we're good now because I switched networks. That's the other reason, is because there's a window right behind where I sit. I suppose I could put you guys over here. That might be a better... Well, yeah, because it's a faster network. The 5G, I'm on the 5G. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we figured out what's up with my Wi-Fi. In the living room, the lackey, we're not doing the lackey right now. I don't care what you even think about that, but I'm not doing the lackey. It's gonna get its own video. Not even taking it out of the box until I get ready to sharpen it later today. So, we have what's called smart meters here in San Diego. That's how they figure out your electrical usage without having to send. It was a cost-saving measure, so it allowed them to pick up and get the information on your electrical usage. Your electrical usage without having to send somebody out. But it does that over a wireless network. And it just so happens that the transmitter interferes with the 5G network. You can't use the 5G network in the kitchen on either one of my servers, or routers, I mean. So, wow, a lot of people dropped. So at any rate, if you're in the kitchen, you have, wow, a bunch of people left. Oh, okay. Anyway, if you're in the kitchen, you can't use the 5G network because the smart meter is on the back side, like right up. My stove is here. On the other side of that is the wall. That's where the smart meter is mounted. So you can't use the 5G network in the kitchen. Sometimes you can't use any of them. And if it's transmitting, you'll lose signal. So I was thinking about what I want to do for dinner. I'm pretty sure it's going to wind up being pizza. I don't want to cook. So I'm not going to show the lackey. I just said it's going to get its own video. I mean, or I said something about the kid not needing the tombstone, that it doesn't hurt him. Yeah, that's Peter. Am I a decent cook?
I don't, I think I'm an average cook, but most people that eat, they're like, holy shit, you cook this? So, yes, I'm actually a really good cook. And it comes from the fact that we grew up in the country and you just had to learn how to cook. That's just the way it was. You couldn't be at my grandmother's house and not learn how to cook. It just happened. It was fucking through osmosis. That's how good a cook that woman was. You never went hungry at my grandmother's house. I'll tell you that right now. She was a Depression era fucking little lady, fucking knew how to cook and how to maximize use of everything. My specialty? Any egg dish. I'm really good with eggs, except fried eggs. I fuck up fried eggs. She was a hobbit, yeah. I'm really good with pasta dishes and pasta sauces. But yeah, my sister's allergic to eggs. I'm good at baking cakes and stuff. I'm good at cakes and stuff, cookies. That was my grandmother's influence because I spent a lot of time at their house. My grandmother baked all the time. Oh, my grandmother, it was like going, the best I can equate it is I've got a friend that's like, their whole family, they're like, I want to say they're Sicilian, but I've been to their house and like his mom is one of those ones, like there was a comedian that used to talk about it. Like the Italian mom, and you cannot leave. You can't leave the table. Like if you are not hungry, just don't go. Like if you can't eat, stay in the car. Don't go in. Because if you say you want a little, you're gonna get a lot. There's a there's a fuck correlation. Like if you're not hungry, you shouldn't even go in. If you're a little bit hungry, you tell her that you just like, oh, I'm so full already, and she'll give you a small portion. If you say you want a normal portion, you're gonna get a big portion. And if you say you're hungry, stand the fuck by. That's the way it was at my grandmother's house. You never went hungry there. There was always something cooking. We had, and stuff that people, fresh baked cookies, handmade milkshakes after school. Yeah, I mean, like, there was no, I was a fat kid. I was a fat kid growing up. That's why. I lived with them for 2 years. Pancakes, bacon, sausage, and eggs for breakfast. Oh, fuck yes, David. That's what I haven't had in forever. I'm gonna make mashed potatoes. Yes, Alpha Boss eggs. Egg allergies are a thing, a big thing. Egg and milk. So, potato patties. Yep, I'm gonna make mashed potatoes today just to have potato pancakes. I'm not even gonna eat them. I'm gonna make them, I'm gonna put them in the refrigerator because you know you have to, because they have to, after you've cooked them and you've mashed them, you gotta cool them back down first. It's the only way to do it. And then tomorrow, I'll add a little bit of butter or bacon grease and fry them in the electric skillet. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Fuck, that's a lot of fucking work. You're allergic to latex? I'm allergic to the shellfish. So we have, my sister and I have some shared allergies. Anything that has flowers, well, that's why you gotta let them cool over. That's why you have to use the leftover mashed potatoes, and you have to add some breadcrumbs, if I remember correctly. You gotta add a little bit of butter, a touch of milk, and a handful of breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs are the binder. That's what keeps them from falling apart when you fry them. Isn't that what you gotta add, or was it egg? It wasn't milk, was it? It was a whisked egg in the whole big bowl of mashed potatoes with a handful of breadcrumbs. Oh, I love Japanese croquettes. Matter of fact, I get them every time I go to the Japanese store. My wife's like, I come home and I've got shit in my beard because she'll have me stop at the Japanese market on my way home from Elliot's shop. And I'll come back and she's like, "Yes, I'm a beer." I was like, "Yeah, I had a couple of those vegetable croquets." And she's like, "Mom, you didn't bring any back?" I was like, "I was gonna, but I fucking ate them in the car." Egg, flour, salt, pepper, cheese, bacon. No, you're adding too much stuff. I just want the plain potatoes. So it is egg, breadcrumbs. What did she say? Flour. Yes, dredge them in flour as well. There you go. I forgot. You got to dredge them in flour, David. It also helps bind them. So, guys, I don't want to sound like a broken record. 22 of us here and 16 likes. So if you have just logged in, I would appreciate if you just drop a like so that I can get these videos shared more readily. Yeah, I mean, well, this is me and my sister collaborating on something that I haven't had like a fried potato cake in 20 plus years. And I haven't seen them made in at least that long, and I'm just trying to reverse engineer stuff. I was borrowing Matt Shearer. Also, do you think you're gonna like it? I don't know, man. What do you? True Irish. If you enjoy potatoes for the sake of potato flavor. Yeah, I was getting ready to say there's a lot of Irish in here. That's not said, but I didn't watch. You didn't make potato cakes the last time I was home. You made sausage, and you made the sausages with the peppers and onions and the sauce, and cooked the sausage in it. And Mom made the red beef roast with potatoes and carrots. I haven't had potato cakes in a long time. Swiss steak, yeah, that's what she made, was Swiss steak. God, it was so good. My mom's a fucking hell of a cook too. I wonder if they're really that good. No, they're that good. They're that good. I can remember, my mouth is watered just thinking about the fact I'm gonna make mashed potatoes. Just my all-time favorite dish. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. I love, like, this is one of my favorite things in the world. Now remember, I want you to remember, not Ralph's casserole, but I am gonna make Ralph's casserole. Now, I want you to remember I spent a lot of years in Asia. So my favorite dish would have to be, my mother-in-law makes it. They have a little oven under the stove that's just for fish. It's like a little box, and it's got a tray, and fresh ocean caught salmon that's been salted before it comes in, a little bit of pepper and soy sauce on top of it. You grill that until it's crispy on the outside and the skin starts peeling off, served with a bowl of rice topped with fermented soybeans and a glass of sake, cup of hot sake. I got goosebumps, guys. Not even trying to joke. I got goosebumps thinking about how good my mother-in-law's fucking, out of all the dishes that I could have, if I was like on death row, that would be it. I would have to have my mother-in-law cook me salmon, fresh white rice, like they grow their own, and it's sake grade rice, and then natto, yep, the fermented soybeans on top. Served with a cup of hot sake, like the good sake, like, tuna doesn't have the flavor that it does. That would be a close second, Transylvania pork and sauerkraut. That's a close one. But no, that is, you're an idiot, Peter. I'm just, haven't done it in a while. Time out, Peter. 300 seconds. I wish there was a way to do it longer. I don't mind tuna. Saba's good. It just doesn't have the same flavor and texture. Like when my mother-in-law does it, it's amazing. I've tried to duplicate it, and I can't. I can't, but I do love natto. Like people look at me and are like, "What is natto?" And I was like, "It's fermented soybeans. Smells like feet, tastes like good cheese. It's amazing. Put it on top of rice. Oh my God." Even better is to take a bowl of rice, crack a fresh Japanese egg, can't be an American egg. Crack it, separate the yolk, throw away the white, because I don't like that sliminess. Put the yolk on top of the egg and mix it up, and then put the natto on top. So the yellow yolk and rice and natto. Oh my God, it's fucking delicious. She serves that. That's like breakfast. What I didn't tell you guys. That's like a typical breakfast at my in-laws' house. It's amazing. Little bowl of miso soup. Forgot the miso. The second Cody put that up, I was like, oh, miso soup. I forgot miso. I like red miso soup with a little bit of tofu, a lot of onion, very little bit of seaweed on it. Fuck, it's delicious. Oh, she does put a lot of, the whole family, last time I was in Japan, I had to fly back, and everybody's like, oh, it's because you guys were all leaving. I left 3 days, almost a week before the wife and kid. So the whole family was crying because I was leaving. I love my in-laws. I would love to be able to just go back. Natto is awesome. It's got so much umami. It's like cheese. Like people, oh, that stuff stinks. Well, so does good cheese. Like a good cheese should smell like feet. It should smell like somebody just took their shoes off. Like either somebody just took their shoes off or that's some good cheese. And I don't get why, oh, that's disgusting. I think it's a texture thing because it is slimy. David's right. It is 100% like my daughter's slime. But delicious. Now, my sister likes something. That I can't stand. And I've heard her talk about making it. Sauerbraten. They used to serve that on a ship all the time. Oh, it's disgusting. She likes it. She's, oh, I'm gonna make it. I just don't like it. I like durian. I love durian. There was a place, I was so upset when they closed the one shopping mall here in San Diego because they had a little fucking Asian smoothie shop and they would make durian smoothies. And the poor kid that would work, he'd put on a mask when he was making it. And he's like, oh, God. And I'm drinking it. My wife's like, can I try it? Last time I had one, my wife was pregnant. That's about the time they closed that mall. Oh, it's so good. It smells like fucking rotten bananas, diesel fuel, and a dumpster. Maybe some onions in there. Maybe some fucking really strong onion thrown in. You know what it always reminded me? It smelled like Limburger cheese. But it's so good. And they made a smoothie with it and they'd add sugar and it had the boba at the bottom. And my wife, she's like, that stinks. Can I try it? I just want to try it once. And she took a drink of it. Next thing you know, she's throwing it in a trash can at the shopping mall. Like, I'm gonna go, I don't know about eating in public, but anytime you go over there, like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, there's signs at the hotels, no durian. You can't take durian in. As a matter of fact, most of the places you will eat it are street side vendors, and they'll chop it open. You just pay it, and they'll cut it up, and you eat it there. It's not quite an open sewer. It does have a dumpster-esque aroma to it, but it's delicious. Not when this business is, you know, what's coming in is going out. Oh, it's delicious. Until this business starts making significantly more money to where any time off I take is taking money out of our bank account, then no. That's why I work 6 days a week. I can feasibly take 1 day off a week, but even on that day off, I'm still doing administrative stuff and things like that. As a matter of fact, I mean, I lost money. So let me, another thing too is, if I'm not putting up content on either Instagram or Facebook, or Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, I don't see customers. That has to be a constant thing. And it has to be relatable to the business. So that's why even if I don't, I try to find things to do videos about that I haven't already done videos about, even if that's one like the big business thing. Because I wanted to put that out. I wanted to get my take on it, because people are like, I've had people like, dude, bitching Spyderco's not listening to you in these videos. And I was like, yeah, but that's not who I'm talking to. That's not at all who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the consumer. So that the consumers that follow me, you guys that follow me, can make an informed decision about purchasing a knife. I'm not saying don't buy a Benchmade knife. I've got a Benchmade and I love it. I just had to fix it. That's all. I have a Spyderco. I have several Spydercos actually still. I found a couple. I didn't have to really do anything to this one, but the other Spydercos I have, that I'm sending out to a guy as a gift. Those ones I had to do a lot of fucking work to. This one that my dad bought me for Father's Day, love this knife. I wouldn't say not to buy it, but it's got some issues. The edge is still really ramped back here and things like that. Now I can fix that, but this is a user knife. And so, as a matter of fact, I did a video about this knife where I called it almost perfect. And it spends a lot of time in my pocket. It sits in a hip pocket. So, you know, I wouldn't say don't buy that knife, but I would say that I want my subscribers, you guys that I like, that I have taken I talk to weekly via this, I would like you to be able to make an informed decision as to whether you want to buy that knife and then immediately have to correct issues. That's all I'm getting out. I just don't think, like I was saying, somebody was saying something about like, oh, we should just band together and this about YouTube and that. And I was like, well, here's the thing. It's not gonna work. Because while we think of ourselves as the knife community, oh, it's gotta be huge, it really is not. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny little community. It just feels big because, you know, it is a large number of people. You know, if you're comparing it by the town I grew up in, it's a huge number of people. In the big scope of things, it's not. And I've only ever had one issue, one knife that was a Spyderco that was outside of bad sharpening, and I sent it back because it had a bad lock. The lock interface completely didn't line up when you would, well, I'll show you on the other one, on this actual Spyderco, because you can see a Spyderco back lock that easier that way. Here it is. So when you would open it, these were completely off center. So you were only getting about 50%. Like it was way, and there was a lot of blade play. This has some blade play, but that's because it's an FRN handle, you know, what can you expect? But what happened was this and the spot, it was off center. These did not even line up. They were like, one was kicked way over and the other was kicked way over. And I tried everything I could to rectify it. It was on a full flat ground. It was on a full flat ground Spyderco. Oh, Endura, Spyderco Endura. So it was on Spyderco Endura, and I sent it back, and they replaced it. That's the only problem I've ever had. And then I turned around and sold it. So I would love, though, to have one of their Enduras, the full flat ground models, in ZDP 189. The ZDP ones are amazing. So Guys, I'm going to end this here in about 5 minutes. If you have not dropped a like, I would appreciate it. I am still going to do a full video review of this Voyager. And then I have the Lackeys that I'm going to do a video about. The Lackeys will probably be first. Nope, no clue. I have not been up to the shop since Friday last week. And I was only up there for a little bit because I had to come back and work. I was working on some stuff. So, I don't know. And here's the thing, even if I did know, I couldn't tell you because I'm in a non-disclosure agreement with them. So anything I know about what goes on in that shop, I'm not allowed to tell anyone. But so yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. I have some sharpening to do. That's why I started a little bit early. So we had an hour, and it's only just after 8:30. So I have a bunch of emails to send because Mark Begg and Mattia Barani did that thing, and I got a ton of requests via DM and have to go through. I don't know. I haven't seen that one yet, Charles. And I watch movies usually at the workbench, so the only I watch stuff that I've seen again. Like right now, I'm watching probably for the 4th time the original Star Trek series. I have no idea. David, adios. It works. So I've watched the original. I watch it all the time. I have it saved on my phone, and I watch it while I'm sharpening. And I watch Star Trek, the original Star Trek, because as much as people don't like William Shatner, sometimes you cannot argue the fact that between DeForest Kelley, Leonard Nimoy, and William Shatner, that was the best 3. That's as good as it gets. You're never going to have that kind of a lineup of 3 people that interact so well together on film. And the fact is, like, when you watch anything, the documentaries, it happened because they all wound up being incredibly good friends. Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner, and DeForest Kelley were truly friends. And that's why that series worked. So, yeah. Even Star Trek The Next Generation, which I enjoyed, does not have that chemistry between the top 3 leads. They tried to duplicate it in a fashion, in a manner, but I think the Star Trek The Next Generation was just too big. It was too big. They tried to have too much cast. I loved the fact that the original series focused on 3 people. There were some ancillary characters, but I'm talking about the top 3. Yeah, I don't think George Takei really liked Shatner that much, if I remember correctly. But that top 3. So yeah, like George Takei was an ancillary character. So was Uhura. So was Chekhov. And there's some other definite reoccurring characters, but they're ancillary. They're not the main characters. Nurse Chapel, who actually, if you watch the original pilot, see, I'm turning into a geek now. If you watch the original pilot, The Cage, which had a different captain, if you watch that, you see that Nurse Chapel was actually, the lady that played Nurse Chapel was number 2, his second in command in the original pilot that never aired until years later. I remember I videotaped this pilot, the lost pilot, called The Cage. She came back as Nurse Chapel and was replaced by a much different version of Spock as number 2, as the science officer. So, half the cast was Jewish. But you have, like, people are like, oh, Chekhov and Uhura and Scotty and George Takei's character, Uhura, or not Uhura. What the fuck was his name? Goddamn seizure meds. Anyway, those are the ones that they associate because those are the guys from the movies. Especially the last couple where they took over the Klingon vessel. Sulu. There we go, Sulu. Fucking Chekhov wasn't even the first season. He didn't show up until like 4 episodes into the second season. Those guys were ancillary characters. They wound up being characters of the movie because those were the ones that got the most screen time. But the big 3, Shatner, DeForest Kelley, and Leonard Nimoy. That made your fucking show. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I got sharpening to do. Like I said, the video that went up yesterday, everybody seems to be liking it. The one about the handles and stuff. I'm gonna try and get an actual, if my internet works, I might do an Instagram live feed while I'm sharpening, but I don't know. It's an iffy thought process on that right now. Because I know I do have to do a bunch. I'm gonna tell you, if you're still here, Charles Anderson, the Swede, there's gonna be extra on those lackeys. Because if it's like Matt's, there's a spot at the back that I'm gonna have to do a lot of work to correct. So there's that. D2 is not fun to work with. It's real slippery. So that, and I have to figure out what you're gonna owe me. I haven't sharpened the triple actions yet, and I know Matt's needs a lot of work. One of them needs a new tip. So I'll let you know what's up with that, and then we'll get something figured out for the shipping. And you let me know what you want to do with the shirts, if you want them shipped or not, because it's gonna definitely need a much bigger box. Okay, you guys, take it easy. I will talk to y'all later. If you didn't leave a like, leave one on the way out, and I'll talk to you later.